Hi, in this demo we're just going to create a very simple max patch which generates a sine wave. To actually display this window we would need to do something like max file new patcher, and if it's not actually displaying this on the right hand side, you can sort of close that, open that by using this item there. Now, to create a sine wave, we actually use an object called a cycle. So there are several ways that we can do this. I could find it in this Explorer by typing the word cycle in there, or alternatively, if I created a new patch, if I just click anywhere in here and then press N, which creates a new object, and then type the word cycle followed by the squiggle. And then if I press space, this comes down with we've got various numbers and various data we can actually send to that. So what we're going to do first is just do a frequency of 440 Hertz. So this is our object. We can't hear anything straight away because we need to have an object for our DAC, and that in this case is the Ezdac object there. So if I select that and sort of move it round in here, and then I've got an object. So this object has like a twin functionality. If you notice that it's got two sort of black lines on there. So if we actually have a look at this in a bit more detail, so we can zoom in by doing the on this is a Mac, we can do the sort of option key equals. So if I zoom in on this, we can actually see these in a lot better detail. Now this cycle is an object, and we've got some sort of word in there. This squiggle there means that this is a audio object, so it will output audio information. There tends to be two types of signals in Macs. We have a audio signal and then we have like a control signal, and there's a very difference between the two, which we'll get to at a later date. This object has a couple of black lines on the top, and if I hover over with my mouse, it kind of indicates what type of information it's expecting to receive in there. And then we've also got a line at the bottom. Now the way these objects work is we have inputs at the top, so that's an input of frequency and that's an input of phase, and then we have an output at the bottom. And so with our Ezdac object down here, we've got a similar thing. We've got two inputs there. So what this equates to is our output 1, so maybe our left speaker, and this one equates to our output 2. Now we still can't hear anything because we've got a couple of things to actually do. We need to actually connect the output of our cycle to the input of our Ezdac. So if you select on that, press click, and then it will create this connection between the two. Now this is like a black and yellow stripy line, which means that is audio data which is actually being sort of fed through. So again, we can't hear anything because we've not sort of selected anything. To actually run this patch, we need to lock this patch, and there's a little lock symbol in the corner. If you click on that, that then locks the patch so we can actually start to use it. Now when the patch is locked, doesn't matter how many times I click on things, I can't actually move them around. Now this object Ezdac also operates as an on and off switch for the output of the audio. So if I click on it, we then start to output audio. click it, it stops. So it's a good way of turning the audio on and off. So what this will do is it will create a sine wave, and that will output to the left hand side of my speakers. I could change this so if I wanted to delete that trace, I select it, and then I can either right click and delete, or you can press the delete button. And now if I wanted to route this to the right hand channel, I select the input I want to route it from, and then drag that across until it connects to the right signal. So to run this, I click lock again, and then to start the audio, I click on that, and there we'll see that I've got a sine wave coming out of the right speaker. We can actually connect a signal to multiple places. So if we click on unlock and then highlight the output of the cycle object and then put that down to there, now I'm using the same signal, but it's been routed to both left and right. So again, to lock this, click like that, and then to hear both, click on there. So that's just a short demonstration of Max 6.